Bethan's Kitchen and Garden. Today I'm in the garden and I'm going to show you around the greenhouses because we get into the time of year where things sort of change around the greenhouse a lot. So I shall show you what I've got growing at the moment and maybe what plans I've got for sowing for the winter. So as we just head into the greenhouse, the first thing on the right is the physalis or Cape Gooseberry plants, which are quite heavy laden with fruit, and if I sort of gently touch them I can feel a little fruit growing there. So they are doing well so far. And then I've got some tomatoes here. They need the tops cut out, and I haven't had any tomatoes from here yet. They are just not ripening. I've had a couple with blossom end rot, but there's a few down there now that are beginning to turn red, and hopefully once a few start turning red they'll all follow suit. I don't know what the variety is. I was given it to me by a neighbour. And down here I got some peppers, normal capsicum peppers, and these are not turning red either. They're producing quite a few. It's quite hard to find one that's producing, but so there's a few on here. There's more fruits there, but they're just not turning red, which is a bit tedious. And then in this corner here I've planted some overwintering onions which I'm growing from seed. This variety is an F1 and it's called High Keeper. I didn't realise it was an F1. There was only about 40 seeds in the packet, so I probably wouldn't have grown them if I'd have known. And then I'm going to sow some Elsa Craig in this section here, and that might be all the onions I'm going to grow for next year. And I've just got this tomato plant that needs a water really, and these two are campanella, which is flowers. So that was a quick tour of this greenhouse. And we'll pop round to the front one and see what's occurring in there, because I did have a bit of a disaster the other day, which I'll show you what's occurred there. So here's the front greenhouse, and down here is a load of seedlings on the floor, and there's the pots that tipped over from here. I think, because I didn't actually see what happened, I think one of my cats jumped up and knocked it over because this tray was down here on the floor. So my beetroot seedlings and one of my bowls of parsley and my fennel seeds are all on the floor somewhere. So I don't think they're very salvageable, which is a bit disappointing, but at least some things have survived. So I've got a few spring onions growing in there. I don't think it's too late to plant some more spring onions, but I don't think I'll bother planting any more beetroot. I got Swiss chard here and some dill, basil there, chives which haven't grown there, and chives in there. Those over there are flowers like primulas and carnations, hopefully for next year. And then over here are some dill and some more bowls of parsley, which are probably about ready to go in the house now, to go on my windowsill. And up here I've got some Pak Choy. These are all in need of potting on. Some spinach, some mustard, some rocket, and some radish, which I've already planted some radish out, but I've just got to find somewhere for those radish to go. And then right at the back are my chilies, which again are showing no signs of going red. And I might move these onto my windowsill in the house because they're hitting the window up there, and I'm not sure if that's going to inhibit them growing. Not that they'll grow much more now, but it might give them a better chance of ripening maybe. Those seedlings going on the floor just about sums up my growing year really, because I started the year with the greenhouse behind me being tipped over with one of the storms and losing all of my onions that I'd grown from seed that I was about to plant out, and now all my beetroot has gone down the Swanee too. So that hasn't been great really, but let's go and see what's going on in my neighbour's greenhouse where I'm growing some of my other fruit and veg. And here is the final greenhouse. So the cucumbers have recovered slightly, and there should be a few coming by the end of next week. I've got more physalis in here, which this is just abundant with fruit. I'm really pleased with how this physalis has grown, but I won't be growing as much in the greenhouse next year of the Cape gooseberries, because I've got some melons that I just can't get to, because I didn't think they would grow as big as they've grown. I thought they were going to be smaller plants. Not that I'm complaining, I'm very happy that they've grown, but I've had to write off the melons. So that's what's occurring there. Similarly with the aubergines, I've had 2 aubergines from these plants. There's 6 or maybe 7 plants, and I've had 2 aubergines. So again, there's lots of flowers on here now, and I know there's insects in here pollinating, so maybe we'll get some more before the end of the year. And let's have a look. The tomatoes, we're getting a healthy crop of tomatoes every week now. I've done a picking for this week in here, so there's some that are just turning red and yellow. And then if I slowly move to the back so I don't knock too many physalis over, I've still got some market more, or these could be gherkins now because the plants are all sort of entwined, so I don't know what's a gherkin now and what's not. But we're still getting some small cucumbers anyway from there, and the tomatoes are doing well at the back as well. So that's what's going on in the greenhouses at the moment. There's still plenty of fruit coming, and plenty of harvesting to be done. I have had a few bits and pieces from here this week. I've kind of been doing them in bits and bobs really, so I don't have a huge amount to process. But we're still not having a glut of anything, which is really unusual, but what we have in is sufficient to keep us going each week, so that's really good. So join me next time for whatever I'll be doing. I'm not sure yet, but all I can say about what's going on in the greenhouses at the moment is lovely job.